Hey, good evening all. Well, buddy Mike brought me another project here a little over a week ago. His John Deere skid loader, and dropped it off, and the complaint was the loader functions were real slow, both on your lift arms and on the bucket curl part. And just got the thing lined out yesterday. I've been working on it Sunday afternoons, just when we get the chance. What we found out through trial and error, I don't even have a book on this machine. It's almost like it's got two safety systems. Here are your what I'll call mechanical pin safeties. They're just like little solenoids with a little pin that comes down and physically drops in your spool valve. And your spool valves, here's a spool valve for your bucket curl. There's a spool valve for the loader, and here's an auxiliary spool if you had lines coming down your front of your loader for an attachment. It don't have that. It could have it, but well, this thing has a fourth spool in it running this direction. Because what was puzzling me is when this thing was acting up, and it was intermittent. It would do it sometimes, and sometimes it'd be fine. Then it'd quit doing it, it'd start doing it again. But I would work my bucket curl one direction, and both hoses would tighten up real tight, like they both had pressure on them. I'd pull it back the other direction, hoses would go limp, but the engine would pull down like it was still building good pressure, but I couldn't figure out why the hoses was going limp. And got to thinking, well, that spool valve going this way is some type of hydraulic safety. When it's slid in this way, it's locking your ports out on one side, on both cylinders, on your loader side and on your bucket curl side. It's locking those out, and that's why the thing wouldn't function. And then there would be times it would just partly open where your loader would be real slow, and it might still work. And why in the world they got two safety systems on it is beyond me. What I ended up doing here, took that plug out right there, and inside there, first thing you'll find is a spring right here. I removed that spring, and we've also got a pull cable here, and there's like a little linkage that goes down to the end of that valve. And I thought that was strange. Once again, I didn't have the book on it. I didn't know what the heck the thing was. It's almost like this was an override feature. Your cable pull handle is right here. Cable runs down through here. There's a little linkage right here. I've took it all off now. But it's almost like it was to override this deal. Like if he's down in the woods somewhere and the thing acted up on you, and of course I was all froze up. All this loader does is load fertilizer all the time. So we've got it pushed in now. I've took the spring out, and it's locked in there now, and the loader works fine. Loader works great. I also done some modifying on this solenoid valve here too. I was thinking this was my initial trouble, but it wasn't. But we've got it to where it's closed all the time. That's That part's where that solenoid went. And what I ended up doing, I cut the end of it off, and then I'll go down. That's almost a video in itself. It's hard to describe, but I'll do the best I can. I tap that out, I think for 7/16. Then I'll put a little cap screw in there, screw it down, then I just weld it with 6011s. You're done. But loader works great now, and we've still got our mechanical safety, so you can't work your pedals until you're flip your switch. You gotta have your seat belt on and all that nonsense. I don't even know what this is. A 317 Deere. I think it's like an 06 or 07. Yeah, there's your safety. Okay. Yeah, now I can work my pedals. But then if I take my seat belt off, now we're locked up again. And for the life of me, the only thing I can figure out that we've done by taking that second safety circuit out is before, see, I got the engine off. Now it will lower with the engine off. I don't think it would do that. But see, I still got to be sitting in the seat, and you still got to have your safety on. So I think it's completely unnecessary nonsense. But oh well, somebody thought they needed it. Getting to the gist of the story here. He had this at a dealer, and it was a company dealer. I won't mention any brand names, but the dealer told him that the valve body was faulty and they were going to have to replace the entire valve body to get this to work again. The valve body is $6,800 just for the valve body. That's no labor. So that was kind of an eye-opener. And I don't know what this is all about. I mean, I don't want to sound like an old, like I'm getting to be an old man, but I mean, you wonder about some of these mechanics or some of the shop's policies, you know. It's like they don't let them work on nothing no more. You know, they just want to change parts out, and that stuff gets expensive. I mean, this is just a loader valve, you know. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Had the bucket on it yesterday, loaded out some sand with it. Seemed to work fine. Oh well. We live and learn. We'll catch you later, folks.